Hi brothers and sisters, nice to see you all again. Sorry I haven't been on for a while. Just got a bit of a situation here. I've lost my home here, so I've got to find some accommodation where I work. I work about 400 miles from where I live, which is this house, and so I've got to find some accommodation. Yeah, thankfully, my employer pays my accommodation, so I'm not going to be on the streets. But I've got to leave all my possessions behind again. This is about the fourth time this has happened to me, but there you go. They don't mean anything. What I wanted to share with you, and I hope you're all well out there. I'm missing you all, and being really blessed by everybody who's sharing and the bits and pieces of truth that we all passing towards each other are beneficial and of great value to every one of us who are walking in the freedom of Christ. And what I wanted to share with you was today is, and the title of my video is, God is not angry anymore. Father's plan of salvation for mankind had to include judgment for the world because of his righteousness. And this judgment finds mankind guilty. In his foresight and wisdom, Father knew this already. So he set out his plan to redeem mankind from sin and death for all time. Thanks to the Messiah, who willingly gave up his life, we saw the end of the Father's anger back in the first century at the cross. His wrath that was stored up for the destruction of man was completely satisfied once and for all time at the cross. Instead of pouring out his anger on the whole on earth, on all people, he poured it out onto his Son, who willingly accepted his Father's wrath. And the Messiah, the Father poured out his wrath unto his Son, not only for our sake, but for his own glory. So he had to do this. He had to do this. And that so that man would be reconciled back to him after losing the right to dwell and be at one with the Creator, which was the Father's original purpose for man. Because of that greatest act in the history of mankind, the eternal destiny of mankind is re-established once and for all time. And when Messiah said it is done, he meant it is done. It signified Satan's defeat and the authority over death reclaimed by the one who is worthy. The fulfillment of all the prophecies in the first century meant the kingdom was established and the rulership of the king in force for all time ever since. And this is what the Old Testament prophets had prophesied for hundreds of years before that. And no longer does man have to live with the fear of death and sin. He has placed eternity into our hearts. But we can look forward to life eternal, being at one with God. The mystery of the ages, which was revealed in the first century to the Gentiles, and that mystery, as I've been keep on saying and saying, which was never known previously to the first century, and that mystery is Christ in us, the hope of glory. That is our hope of glory, brothers and sisters. So not only are the blessings of being at one with the Father for a chosen few, as it was previously, it is now available for all people, of all nations, of all tribes and all tongues. Knowing Messiah kept his promise of the resurrection and to come back for his elect in the first century, which he kept that promise what he gave to them. It should give every believer the assured expectation that they are invited to eat with Christ. And standing on that, we can rest in the Father's grace, and we can stand on that rock which no one can snatch away from you, for all those who believe. Slowly but surely, I believe all will come to the recognition of this truth in time, when all humble themselves to acknowledge the King of Kings and confess Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of the Father. I believe this will come to pass, regardless of what you see on the TV. If you're looking for doom and gloom, you will find doom and gloom. If you're looking for love, joy, peace, kingdom, righteousness, holiness, you will find it. Simple choice. It will be a painful process for the world to come to the realization, but Messiah will be manifest for all to see eventually. They be able to see, not with the physical eyes, but to perceive, to realize and understand that Jesus Christ is King. Jesus Christ died on the cross for all time, for all people, and the true path to eternity is established. The manifestation of him in the sons and daughters will be the signal that God is with man, and so all will enter in as they begin to see that light in the darkness. There will be resistance, but the light of the Messiah will shine so bright in the dark that people will not be able to resist it. That light will be truth, and attached to that will be true joy, love, contentment for all mankind forever, which every person is seeking, but the majority is seeking it in the wrong things and never find it. So the Father can use the sons and daughters in every generation, as he has done, to be a light in the world, and for all to eventually see. Many will resist, but we hope and pray that every person comes to accept Jesus Christ as their Saviour. The more the sons and daughters manifest his light, not manifest darkness, the trickle will become a flow, as people see his way as the only way for humanity. And I say, pray for the leaders of the world, that they will confess with their mouth Jesus Christ is Lord. And then the healing of the nations will come to pass. The healing of hearts and minds and families will come to pass. Peace and love, everybody. Keep sharing, keep sharing.